Welcome to Output, Analysis, and Reports. In this chapter, we're going to be looking at the vulnerability assessment tools and realize that depending on what tool you use, you could have very different outcomes. So it'd be really nice if you could use all of them, and you may find that one tool will find a vulnerability that another one will not find, or there may be a feature that you like in one that another one does not offer. So we're going to look at the output of some of these tools and see a little bit more about the features that they offer. The ones looked at here are Nessus, Saint, GFI Landguard, and Microsoft Baseline Security Analyzer. As far as staying up to date on security alerts, there's the U.S. National Vulnerability Database. I'm going to take a look at that. Here's their site, nvdnist.gov. And essentially, it's a U.S. government repository of standards-based vulnerability management. Data enables automation of vulnerability management, security measurement, compliance. Looking on their main part of their site, you can actually search through the CVEs, the common vulnerabilities and exposures. Maybe you have a certain keyword you're looking for. Maybe you have something specific that you wish to find, you could search through it. So, interesting website to check out. All right. Next thing, vulnerability research sites. There's quite a variety of vulnerability research websites that we can look at, which we will. Okay, here's one. We have hackerstorm.co.uk. Basically, vulnerability research. Got a lot of nice areas to look at. There's Nessus. OpenVOS is another one that actually was not mentioned here in our chapter, but does exist, and I know someone who really likes that tool as well. Has some really nice areas on this website. Vulnerability research tool, search exploit code from offensive security, search the CVEs again, like from the same website we were just looking at. Description, platform, operating system, anything you're trying to find here. Another interesting website as far as staying up to date on vulnerability information, we have Secunia, and they have a product for complete patch management. So another one to keep up to date. We've already looked here before, but this is just a little different glimpse of the CVE website. And with this, I kind of scrolled down a little while further to actually see some of the CVEs of the different years. And it describes what some of the vulnerabilities were with various references. So when you're using tools like Saint or Nessus, many of these tools will actually give you a CVE reference number, which will, in the past, has been the year and followed by the number. And then you could cross-reference that and get more information on it. Here at the very top, though, quite interesting, the CVE identification syntax is changing on January 1st, 2014, and here we are. So, good website. This is SANS, and on SANS, this is actually a reference to their critical security controls, and they actually have put together a list of kind of their top 20 critical security controls. And these could be really quite interesting, whatever you want to look up. Malware defense. Good recommendations. Limit use of external devices to those that have a business need. Block access to external email systems. So it's like kind of giving you some really top 20 controls, and this is just one of the 20 controls of how to make yourself more secure. See, inventory of authorized and unauthorized devices, software. Here you go, vulnerability assessment and remediation. A little information on how to go about this. automated patch management system, monitoring your logs. I mean, these are all really good common sense things. But this is, again, SANS.org, critical security controls. This one could be really handy. Plus more links within the site. Open vulnerability and assessment language. This is another nice one to go look at. Basically, it's an information security community effort to standardize how to assess and report upon the machine state of computer systems. All kind of wrapped together with, there's your CVE again. Security Wizardry, another one. It's another security portal with information on security as well. Okay. Good up-to-date information as well. I like this part here too. Tools, I love that. It's security cartoons. Packer header crib sheets, just good reference. There's also dshield.org, Network Security Podcast, and ISE Stormcast. Stormcast are actually just really quick 5 to 10 minute threat updates. If you don't really have a lot of time on your hands yet, you want to keep up to date, that could be really useful. Security Focus, another nice place to look to keep up on security. See some of the vulnerabilities that are current. Get on their mailing list. What's most popular. Goodreads. eWeek. I thought this one was kind of interesting. Go through and kind of see, you can see the date, newest to a little bit older. Get information about what's hot in security. There it is, Pirate Bay still alive and on the move. I don't know if you knew that. That's been happening in recent months. Is your phone tracking you, should you care? I mean, good interesting reads here. You also have ISECCOM. Basically, Institute of Security and Open Methodology. Begin the release of the OSSTMM, the Open Source Security Testing Methodology Manual. So looking at how security should be tested and implemented. And over here, I actually have the Open Source Security Testing Methodology Manual, which you can just simply just Google search it and you will find it. And this is actually a nice PDF. Get down to where I want to be. Because you get to the table of contents and some good information. Information security, process security, internet technology security. Pretty good read here. Communications, wireless. We're looking to wireless. Physical security. Basically 127 pages of good information. So just basically want to give you an overview of, these popular websites. They're all dealing with vulnerability research. Nessus, remember Nessus is a vulnerability assessment tool. They want you to realize here that you have to have the professional feed if you're using reports in a commercial environment. Nessus does have one you can kind of play with at home, but as far as if you want to keep up to date and you're going to use this commercially, then you're going to need to have the professional feed, and it will give you, the latest update. There will be a fee for this feed, and you can use this, as you can see above here, home feed, and it's real basic, but it does give you some ideas of vulnerabilities on your own home computers. But in a work environment, we would need to purchase the professional feed for a commercial environment. Saint has a really nice interface to find vulnerabilities, like I mentioned earlier, using the CVE database as reference. It will go through and scan the machines you tell it to scan, and it's going through and trying to find ports that are open, and in the end it would come up with the CVE references, and then you could go and look on various exploit websites like ExploitDB and use that to actually try to exploit some of those vulnerabilities. Saint has also reports that I mentioned that are really nice. This just gives you a glimpse of the reports. It's just done for you. If you just let Saint run and you pay your fee to have Saint as a product. Remember, it is kind of a Linux, Unix-based system, but very friendly. Nothing really difficult about it. You tell it to run the various scans to the intensity that you wish them to run, and then you can produce these nice reports, and it just does it for you. GFI LandGuard, kind of an interesting product as well. Very friendly, as they put it, dashboard. Finds machines that need updates and is actually able to push the piece to the PCs remotely. So that's kind of a nice feature with patch management built right in. Plus reports, very, very easy. Windows-based tool, extraordinarily friendly. We like that. And you could export it to a variety of formats as well. Let's see, network security overview, vulnerability status, patching status. And it keeps going. If you look here, full audit, scan base, full audit, software audit, scan history, and so on. And then even more. And that was just the general reports. You got credit cards, PCI DSS, your HIPAA. I mean, all these different regulatory type reports that you want to be compliant with. So that's kind of handy. Now, MBSA, remember, Microsoft only. Very friendly, can be used for the IT professional as well as the home user. You see they say small and medium-sized businesses, so they're not really thinking this is going to be your end-all vulnerability assessment tool, but it does give you some basic remediation ideas. It tells you what did it find, how critical was it, and essentially we could click on it and get more information and see what to do about it. Very graphical, like all the tools are. Color-coded. Red is generally something intense, something very negative. Local account password test. Simple or blank passwords, not good. Automatic updates, not on. Whatever it may be, it's going to alert you to it. So very helpful for various Microsoft tools. You would still need to use something like Nessus or Saint or Retina, something like that, to get information on vulnerabilities with tools outside of Microsoft. So in this chapter, we can see that the various tools have nice things about them that maybe another tool doesn't have it quite as nice. I mean, the GFI LandGuard with the patch management built in, kind of nice. The Saint with the extraordinary report writing, the way it just writes the reports for you so quickly. And of course, just a note about Nessus having to have the professional feed, although there is a home version you can use in your home environment. Plus, we looked at some various websites to see how we could keep up to date on the latest, greatest trends in security, see what's happening. So we're, just like other people watch the news, we could go to these sites, sign up in many cases to get email notification and let us know what's going on in the security world.